Today we are going to discuss about the nutrition in plants. That is the chapter from class 7th. Let's begin the class here. Introduction. Okay. In the introduction we see that the food is the very important and the basic thing for all the living organism. Food means it contains the carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. These are the components of the food. Every living organism need the food for its survival, to growth, to development. Food is very important source for all the living organism here. All the plants and animals require food for their growth and getting energy to perform all the day-to-day life activities. For example, if we take the human beings, we need the food for growth, development of our organs, and as well as we need the energy to do the works and to perform the different activities, day-to-day life activities, like the children's are play the all the games, and the elders working in the fields and industries. In all the fields we need the energy, so we need the food for the growth and the energy. And the process of utilizing the food, it means the taking the food by the animals to obtain energy and growth and development is known as the nutrition. Nutrition means the utilizing of the food by an animals to obtain energy for growth and development is known as a nutrition. It means the nutrition is the process where the animals get their food from both animals and plants. To obtain the energy, to get the energy from the food is nothing but a nutrition. Plants make their food themselves, but animals can't prepare their food themselves. Hence, the animals depend upon the plants for their food directly or indirectly. Orally, we can say that all the living organism need the food for their survival. It means we need the food to grow, to develop, to do work, to get energy. That is nothing but nutrition. This is the introduction part of this lesson. In further, if we see, there are mode of nutrition in the plants and animals also. Here today we are going to discuss about the nutrition in the plant. So we are going to study about the plant's nutrition. There are the two mode of nutrition in the plants. One is the autotrophic nutrition, another one is the heterotrophic nutrition. There are the two type of nutrition mode in the plants. One is the autotrophic, another one is the heterotrophic. Now let us study about autotrophic nutrition. What is the autotrophic nutrition? First we are going to see the word of nutrition, that is autotrophic here. Auto means self. Auto means self. Tropos means nourishment. Auto means self and tropos means nutrition. Here autotrophic nutrition means the plants are called autotrophs because they can prepare their own food or they make their own food themselves. The making of the food for themselves is called autotrophic nutrition. It means the plants which prepare their own food, they are known as autotrophic nutritions. The nutrition found in green plants. If the plant is green, they can prepare their own food. It means autotrophic means the plants which prepare their own food themselves. That is known as the autotrophic. We can take the example of the neem plant, banana plant, mango plant, etc, etc. The plants which have the green leaves, they can prepare their own food. They are known as a autotrophic nutrition. Another one is the heterotrophic nutrition. The word autotrophic is a combination of two words. Autotrophic means words is the combination of two words. One is the hetero, another one is the tropos. Hetero means others, and tropos means same, nourishment. If organism depends on the others for their food, is called the autotrophic nutrition. It means the animals which depend upon the other animals or on the plants for their food, this is known as heterotrophic nutrition. For example, you can take the human beings, dogs, cats, deers, bears, lion, tiger. We can see in the picture here. The carnivorous animals, they depend upon the other animals. Herbivorous animals, they depend upon plants. Omnivorous, they depend upon both plants and animals. If you take the example only as a carnivorous, the lion, tiger, black panther, they always depend upon the other animals for their food. They hunt other animals, they feed themselves. If you take the herbivorous like the elephant, deer, they depend upon plants. They totally depend upon the plants. They are vegetarian. They consume the plants' leaves and they survive themselves. And omnivorous, you can take the example of the human beings, dogs, cats, deer, bears. We totally depend upon animals also as well as on plant also to get our food. We take the vegetable as a food. We take meat as a food. We get nourishment from both plants and animals. Here, animals can't prepare their own food. We can't prepare our own food. We don't have the chlorophyll in our body. We don't prepare our own food. Animals also can't prepare their own food. We depend upon the plants. We depend upon animals. The organism which depend upon other organism for their nourishment, for their food, they are known as a heterotrophic mode of a nutrition. It means we are depend upon other animals or other plants to get our food, to get our energy, to perform the different activities in day-to-day life. We eat the different type of fruits. We eat apple, we eat banana, we eat chicus, we eat pineapples. We get energy from that foods. And we eat fish, we eat meat, we eat eggs to get our nourishments. By these nourishment, we get energy. We produce energy in our body to perform different types of activities in day-to-day life. Human beings is a very familiar example we can take here, which is depend upon other organism as well as on plants for their food. The animal which are depend upon different organism or on the plants are known as the heterotrophs. It means human being is a heterotroph, lion is the heterotroph, elephant is the heterotroph, mushroom is the heterotroph, and bear, deer, earthworm, these all organisms are heterotrophs. It means the organism which depends upon the other organism or on the plant for their food or nourishment, they are called heterotrophs. Though getting the food or taking the food from other organism or other plants, that is known as a heterotrophic mode of a nutrition. One is the autotroph, another one is the heterotrophic mode of a nutrition. In auto means the green plants which prepare their own food, they are known as the heterotrophs. The organism which depend upon other organism or on the plant, they are known as the heterotrophs. Autotrophs and heterotrophs. There are the two mode of a nutrition we are going to see here. Overall, generally, if we come to the plants, the nutrition in the plants, there is a process by which the plants going to prepare their own food. We just we discussed about the autotroph which prepare their own food. A plant is only the species which prepare their own food. There is a phenomena in the plants by which they prepare their own food. There is a process by which the plants prepare their own food. That is nothing but a photosynthesis. By the process of photosynthesis, plants prepare their own food. Or we can see here the process of making of food by green plants in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll is called photosynthesis process. Here the green plants which prepare their own food in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll is called photosynthesis process. It means if the plant have to prepare its own food, the plants need some materials or some substances to prepare their own food. It means the plant needs sunlight to prepare their own food. It needs chlorophyll to prepare their own food. Plants need water to prepare their own food. Plants needs minerals to prepare their own food. These are the components of the photosynthesis process. Components are sunlight, chlorophyll, minerals, water, carbon dioxide. These all are the components of the photosynthesis process. In the picture we can see here. The components are the carbohydrates we can see here. The sunlight we see here. Water we see here. The water is absorbed by the root of the plants and it reaches to the leaves. The carbon dioxide is absorbed from the atmosphere by the leaves or the small pores present in the leaves that are known as the stomata. By there, they absorb the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and the sunlight is absorbed by the leaves. By combination of all these components, means carbon dioxide, water, minerals, sun, they all gather in the leaves and the plants start to prepare its own food. We can say that the leaves are the kitchen house of plants. Why? Because the plants prepare their own food in the leaves. Let us see the word photosynthesis. This word also combination of two words. One is the photo, another one is synthesis. Photo means light. Synthesis means to make, or we can say to prepare. Plants prepare their own food by using the carbon dioxide, water in the presence of sunlight and the chlorophyll. This is the definition of the photosynthesis. It means plants prepare their own food by using the carbon dioxide, water, minerals in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. And the photosynthesis process takes place only in green leaves. That's why I told you that green leaves are the kitchen of plants, where they prepare their own food. Let us see the equation of the photosynthesis. This is the equation of the photosynthesis, where the carbon dioxide and water combined each other in the leaves in the presence of sunlight and the chlorophyll to produce glucose. Glucose C6H12O6 is the molecular formula of the glucose, and they produce or they liberate the oxygen to the atmosphere. We can see in the equation here the carbon dioxide. The molecular formula of the carbon dioxide is CO2. If plants want to prepare its own food, it needs 6CO2 and 6H2O, that is the molecular formula of water. They combined each other in the leaves. Carbon dioxide absorbed from the leaves and the water is absorbed by the roots, and they come to the leaves in the presence of a light or in the sunlight, and in the presence of a chlorophyll they prepare the food. The food is nothing but that is glucose, that is C6H12O6, and they liberate the oxygen which we inhale, which we breathe. That is the oxygen liberated by the plant during the process of photosynthesis. If there is a no photosynthesis process, there is a no oxygen. If there is a no oxygen, we can't survive on the earth. We can survive without food for the 24 hours or 48 hours, but we can't survive without oxygen even a minute also. This is the way oxygen is the very basic need of all organism present on the earth. The oxygen is liberated from plants during photosynthesis process. And glucose, the plant store its food in the form of a starch. Remember, this is a very important point. The plants store their food in the form of a starch. This is the equation of a photosynthesis here. If we see chlorophyll, we are taking this word again and again here in the class. What is the chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is the green pigment or the green fluid that is present in the leaves. Chlorophyll is a pigment, green pigment. Chlorophyll in the color of a green that is present in the leaf. Chlorophyll use the energy from the sunlight. It means chlorophyll absorb the sunlight. If we see the green plants in our garden or in our school garden, in public garden, you see the color of the plants are green because of chlorophyll. If there is no chlorophyll present in the leaf, they don't have a green color. The chlorophyll use the energy from sunlight. Use the energy means that is the chlorophyll absorb the sunlight to prepare food by using water and carbon dioxide. We can add another one word here, that is the minerals, which is absorbed by the root of the plant. It means chlorophyll absorb the sunlight, and by using the carbon dioxide and using the water and using the materials, plants prepare their own food, or chlorophyll prepare the plant's food here. The prepared is in the form of the food which is prepared is in the form of a carbohydrate. Just I told you that the plants store their food in the form of a starch. These carbohydrates which is prepared in the plant's leaf, which convert into the starch, and the starch is mode of storing the food. First chlorophyll absorb the sunlight, after it absorb the water from the roots, and it absorb the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and it absorb the minerals from the roots. By 4 components, chlorophyll prepare the food in leaves, which is in the form of carbohydrates which is further converted into the starch, and starch is stored in the form of the food in a plant's different parts. The food is maybe stored in the stem, the food may be stored in the leaves. Starch maybe plants store the food in the form of fruits. Maybe the plants store its food in the roots. In the different parts of the plants, they can store their foods. The stored food is in the form of a starch. Okay, I hope you people are understanding here. Next, we can see here the chlorophyll. Look here, in the left hand side, there is the small cells in the picture. They are in the green color. The green color is nothing but a chlorophyll. We see in the picture here, the green color which we see here, that is nothing but a chlorophyll. Here in this chlorophyll, they prepare, it means plants prepare their own food. In these green pigment, by using these green pigment, they prepare own food. In others right hand side, we see some pictures known as stomata. Stomata are the pores present in the leaves. Means we see here, these are the guard cells. These are the border of a stomata, which help in the closing and in the opening of a stomata. In the middle, we see that stomatal pore. From the stomatal pore, the leaves absorb the carbon dioxide. We can say that the leaves exchange the gases. And another one part of that stomata is nothing but that is the chloroplast. This is the picture of a stomata. One is picture of the opening of stomata. Another one picture is the closing of stomata. The guard cell helps the stomata to close and to open its mouth to exchange the gases. We can see the both picture here. One is the chlorophyll picture. Another one is the stomata, the present in the leaves. If we move further, we see the role or the functions of stomata. If you see the first point, the stomata to control the entry and exit of gases into and out of a leaf. It means it control the exchange of gases. Stomata control the exchange of gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen. When there is a light, it start to absorb the carbon dioxide, because to prepare their food. After preparation of the food, the oxygen is liberated. Just we saw in the reaction, after the preparation of the glucose, oxygen is liberated. Oxygen is come out from the stomata. It controls the entry and exit of gases. Second point, the guard cells open and close to control this. Means to control the opening and closing of the stomata. Just we saw before only the guard cells. Here we can see the guard cells. Guard cells control the opening and closing of a stomatal mouth. Next point, if you see third point, stomata respond to outside condition. It means the plant's stomata respond to weathers, respond to atmospheric temperature. And fourth point, when the conditions are right for the photosynthesis, stomata open wide for exchange of gases. What do you mean by the favorable condition? Or what do you mean by the when conditions are right? It means when there is a sunlight. When there is a light, then the stomata open its mouth widely to exchange its gases, to absorb the carbon dioxide and to liberate the oxygen. And next point, when it is too dry or dark, stomata close up. It means totally dry. We can take in the summer season, at the midday or in the night. Dark means at night. Right now I am making the class at night, so I told you that right now. In the dark, the stomata closes up. The closed stomata prevent the loss of water in a plant. Why? Because while the exchange of gases, the water is also come out from the stomata. So when it was closed, it maintain, it prevent, it protect the loss of water from plants. This is the role and the function of a stomata. Once again, we see the picture of a stomata here. That is it contains several parts. That is the guard cell, stomatal pore, and the chloroplast. In the other side, we see the chlorophyll, which is in the green color. This is the role and function of a stomata. Next one, that is the mode of a nutrition in the plant. Not only the autotrophs, not only the heterotrophs, there are also different type of nutrition modes in the plants. We can study by this flowchart. First, see the mode of nutrition in the plant. One is the autotrophic mode of nutrition, another one is the heterotrophic mode of the nutrition. In autotrophs, plants prepare their own food, that is enough. In the heterotroph, there are some heterotroph plants also present. Some plants depend upon other organism or on other plants for their nourishment. That plants are also known as a heterotroph plant. Not only the animals, not only the human beings, there are some plants which depend upon other plants or other organisms for their nutrition or nourishment or food. They depend upon other plants or the organism. They are also known as the heterotroph plants. We see there are the 4 type of heterotroph plants are present. One is the insectivorous plant, another one is the parasitic plant, third one is symbiotic plant, and last one is the parasitic plant. Sorry, that is known as fourth one is the saprotrophic plants. Insectivorous plants, parasitic plants, symbiotic plant, and the saprotrophic plants. Let us study one by one. This is just we are going to study the heterotrophic plants. What is the mode of nutrition in the heterotrophic plants? Until this we study the autotrophic plants, that is the photosynthesis process. Now we study the heterotrophic plants here one by one. Let's begin from the saprotrophic nutrition, mode of nutrition. The taking of nutrients. Nutrient means carbon dioxide. Nutrients means carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, or some other substances which they need as a food. The taking of a nutrition by organism from a dead and decaying matter is called saprotrophic nutrition. It means the plants or the small organism or the plants which take their food from the dead and decaying matter. Dead and decaying matter, they are known as the saprotrophic nutrition or the saprotrophic mode of nutrition. In the picture we can see there are the type of saprophytes. It means the organism which get their food from the dead and decaying organism. They are known as the saprotrophs or saprophytes. One is the bacteria, another one is the fungi, third one is the molds. Or we can take the mushroom also. Mushroom is also depend upon the dead and decaying materials. These are the saprotrophs, the organism which use the saprotrophic mode of nutrition are called saprotrophs. We can take the bacteria, fungi, and the molds or the mushrooms. They depend upon the and depend upon dead and decaying matter for their nourishment, for their nutrition, for their food. They are known as the saprotrophs. Here, dead and decaying material means we can take the garbage of vegetables. In the village we see that we call it as a good, where they all the waste material is dumped in a single particular place. There are lot of the material which get decayed. On that, the lot of the organisms are going to survive. They are known as the saprotrophs, where they get their nutrition from the dead and decaying materials. Okay, next one is the parasitic mode of a nutrition. Not only in the organism, not only in the living organism, it means like human beings, mosquitoes, leeches, lion, tiger. There are some parasitic plants are also present in the nature. They get their nourishment or their food from other plants. The plants which do not have chlorophyll. It means the plants which do not have the chlorophyll and they can't prepare their own food. They get food from other plants called host. We can see in the picture here, some plants are grown on trees. The tree is a host here. Tree is known as a host, and the plants which is grown on the tree, that is known as the parasitic plant. It means the plant which do not have chlorophyll and they can't prepare their own food, they get their food from other plants called a host. And the plants which get the food from other plants, that is known as the parasitic plant. Here we can take the example as a cuscata. Cuscata is the plant which take its food from other plants or other trees. We can see in the picture here. The cuscata is developed on the large tree and it take all the nutrients from that tree. Tree is the host for cuscata. Next, we see the insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants means the plants which depend upon other organism or on insects. They are known as insectivorous plants. For example, we take the pitcher plant. In the picture, in the figure we see here, there is the leaf is modified into the pitcher. Leaf modified into the pitcher, which have the lid to close when the insect is sit inside in the pitcher. Here in the definition we see that, or in the details we see that the plant is modified into the pitcher. The end of the pitcher as a lid which can open and close. In the picture we can see here, or in the figure we can see here, there is a lid which is able to close and open also. When the insect is sit in the pitcher, the lid is slowly closed up. Here, when an insect enter in the pitcher, it means the pitcher, the like bucket like or mug like shape we see here in the figure, that is known as the pitcher, and the upside there is a lid to close the pitcher. The pitcher is developed from the leaves here. When the insect enter in the place, the lid is closed and the insect is digested by the digestive juice which is secreted in the pitcher to digest the insect. After digestion of the insect, they absorb all the nutrients, required nutrients from the insects. So this plant is known as insectivorous plants. Why? Because it is totally depend upon the insect for its nourishment or if for its food. Okay. Next we see the symbiotic plant. Symbiotic plants are or the process of a symbiosis. is when two plants live very closely together in harmonic of one kind or another kind. It means two different plant growth very closely, or two different plant develop very closely, maybe of a same kind or maybe other kind. They share or they exchange their nutrition for survive. It means symbiosis word come from the Greek word, from the Greek language. Symbiosis word is took, and the meaning of a symbiosis is with and living. It means together living. The plants of a same kind or the different kind of plants develop very closely with each other, and they exchange or they get the nourishment or the food from each other. They exchange their nourishment or the food with each other. They describe the relationship between two species or organisms that can often be beneficial for both parties. It means they exchange the nourishment with each other, that is known as a symbiotic plants. Or the exchanging of the nourishment, we can say that is the process of symbiosis, which means living with together or living and with, or with and living. You can take anything. This is the symbiote. It means the plants which closely develop with each other by exchanging their nourishment or the food. Okay. Thank you very much for listening my class. Today we discussed a lot of the things. Once again we were going to revise them one by one. Today we saw the nutrition in the plant. There are the two types of a nutrition we can see here. That is the autotrophic mode of nutrition. Another one is the heterotrophic mode of a nutrition. The autotrophic mode of a nutrition we saw, which prepare their own food in the presence of sunlight by using the carbon dioxide, by using the water, by using the minerals from nature. Another one is the heterotrophic nutrition, where we get the food from other plants or animals. We see the photosynthesis process which take place in the autotrophic plants. It means plants which prepare their own food. We saw the equation of the photosynthesis. The plants prepare their food in the form of carbohydrates, and the carbohydrates is converted into the starch. We studied about and we discussed about chlorophyll and stomata. And we saw the functions and the role of stomata. And we saw the mode of nutrition in the plants. Especially we discussed about the autotrophic plants or autotrophic mode of a nutrition. There are the four type of a nutrition in the heterotroph. One is the saprotrophic nutrition, another one is the parasitic mode of a nutrition, another one is the insectivorous nutrition, and another one is the symbiotic nutrition. I hope you people understood this class. Please, if you like this video, if you like this class, please support me, subscribe this video and share with your friends and ask them to the subscribe. And please don't unsubscribe. Why? Because you don't, we are not going to charge you to subscribe. Okay, you need not to pay anything to subscribe. So please support me and share this video with your friends. Thank you very much for the listening my class. Please support me.